Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Brady. Good to have you here.
Good to be on, Tommy G.
We got some headlines. Things changed a lot from when we first started building the show. The markets have moved a lot. We had some exports and whatnot. Let's get in the markets real quick. I'll quote them up. You stand by. Corn up 2.5 on the highs. East corn 427. Beans up a quarter. That is a solid 10, 11 cents off the low. Meal being the leader. Keep an eye on that soybean meal up 60. Soybean oil down a little bit. Border trade, KC and hard red all up 10 to 11. Live cattle unchanged in the yak. Feeders down 50. Lean hogs up 60. Take it to Wall Street. Dow Jones down 250. S&P down 50. NASDAQ down 200. Seeing a flight to quality in the bonds, 2s, 5s, 10s, 30s. That market is rallying. When I say bonds are rallying, yields are going down. Speaking of flight to quality, ring the bell. Gold up $30. That's coming back for more highs here. Not quite there, but it's working on it. Silver up 60 cents, $32 per ounce of silver. Dr. Copper up. Crude oil up $2. Natural gas up a smidge. Bitcoin down. I do have a headline. We have breaking news, and I will get. Oh, we haven't used this one in a while. Breaking news. You want to do the beep, 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 beep?
Beep, 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 beep.
All right, here's
Breaking
what we got.
news.
Here's what we got. This is serious, folks. No joking around. Iran to imminently launch ballistic missiles on Israel. White House warns. Interesting.
That is
Not the news you really want to hear, but nonetheless, that is the headline. So that'd be your moving crude. That'd be your moving gold. That'd be that push down in the stocks, and sounds really serious. I wouldn't joke about it. And so when something like this happens, Brady, I really put a couple key things on my screen. I put the gold
okay.
and the crude and a couple in a S&P, and that those three right there, and the bond ticket. You put those four tickets and you could see what type of risk is coming in or out of the market. I had a question. I know you don't know the answer, but we got to talk about it. Dock strike, really serious stuff. I wonder if that'll affect cattle, and I guess it could affect everything, right?
Yeah, I agree, Tommy. It's a big deal, headlines everywhere, and yeah, we'll see what happens and how long this lasts. The ripple effect of one day on strike, I was reading, that has a tail end of 5 days, kind of ripple effect afterwards, just to get things back together. So, how many days will they be on strike? How long will this last, and how will it ripple through the rest of the economy? A lot of uncertainty out there, Tommy. What do you think of it?
I'm wondering if I should send Gina to Costco to get toilet paper. I might tell her. I think, on a serious note, if you're older and there's certain medicines or anything like, wouldn't be wouldn't be a bad idea to renew a prescription, or if it's medical, if it's
Right.
toilet paper, you could always use leaves if you have to rough it. You know what it's like to camp.
Oh yeah.
Um, but serious stuff like it's been a long time since this has happened, like the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of the 70s, happy birthday, President Carter. He made it to 100. That's really wild.
100 years. That is impressive. Anytime anybody makes it to 100, that is
Yeah,
impressive.
this admit
Yep.
he's got to feel good about his presidency. Looking at what's going on in America now, even though he was rated the worst president, he's got to be like, "Wow, you know what? I wasn't that bad. Look what's going on here." So he's probably laughing. He's got good seats to the show here called Election 2024. Speaking of Election 2024, that's not far out, and that's going to move markets, my friend. And we're here to tell you every day about it. What else do we have for
We
headlines,
got it.
B Huck?
Well, tying into the election and politics, got a VP debate tonight, Tommy. That'll be
Yeah.
interesting. I'll be tuning into that and seeing. Probably going to tune into it. I don't know. It's like I don't know. Don't want to say car wreck, but you can't look away
Well,
from it,
if
right?
Governor Walz is wearing earrings, then you know it's rigged, right? The you get on TikTok, you see all types of stuff.
Yep.
Uh,
But
they say he's not a strong debater, but Pete Pete Buttigieg's been coaching him and teaching him, and I don't know who's a good debater. It's an art, right? It's your ability to be hit with a bomb and come out of it. They're going to try to smear each other, and I don't know if
gloves come off. Will it be scripted? I don't think they're getting the questions ahead of time though this time. So that's
it.
interesting to
Yeah,
see.
it was interesting. What I think President Trump did wrong on that last debate, and of course it was kind of skewed if you ask me, but I felt like he was arguing with the commentators and not, or the whoever, what do you call the people ask you the questions? I guess
Yeah,
commentators, the in sports, but
moderators or yeah,
moderator, thank you. And I felt like he was directly arguing with the moderators, and Vice President like Kamala was just sitting there laughing, or whatever. I don't know if she's Vice President elect, potential Vice
Yeah.
President. She was laughing because he was so distracted arguing with them that he forgot that there was an audience out there in the real world. So we'll see. They do have something in politics called October surprises,
Okay.
and possibly this port strike could be that.
Yeah.
We'll remember what I said, folks. We're going to keep a crude oil ticket up, a stock market ticket, a bond ticket, and a gold ticket. When I see gold up 30, and when I see crude up 2, it kind of gets me a little worried.
Yeah.
We have exports. Let's talk about that.
So speaking of ports and importance of ports, we had an export flash today, 195,000 metric tons of corn to unknown and 120,000 metric tons of beans also to unknown. So unknown, loading the book up, buying some products from the U.S. That's good to see. We'll see if they can actually get it shipped out of here. Tommy, corn exports, they're off to a great start. A comment from ATI Research this morning said, the corn exports are off to the best start since 2018. So, and we just rolled over to the first month of the 24-25 marketing season. So it's good to see corn exports going out the door, getting on the book. That's huge for the U.S. farmer. We need that export demand.
And I had a client, he's a pretty savvy trader, hedger. I said, why aren't you worried about corn prices? He said he believed, and he was right, that 380, which was like 380 futures, 350 cash corn, was going to bring in a ton of demand. He said, now's not the time to panic. He said the whole rest of the world gets to buy our crop a heck of a lot cheaper, and we could produce it. Obviously, people who weren't hedged regretted it, but he was like, well, he just was very clear when we made lows. I want to see where we are in 3 months, and he thought we'd be a lot higher. And lo and behold, we've had an incredible run, highest prices since July, demand creeping up, price action acting good, problems in the world, which if a war or something does break out, not a war, but there's more conflicts. And would you look at corn as a flight to safety? I mean, I know they look at gold and Bitcoin and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
the world's in trouble. Do you go buy corn? Maybe. We'll see.
Well, it's a hard good. You know what you got there, and it's we're gonna need it, and we're gonna use it, right? So I think that's worth paying attention to. But we can't ignore the fact it's still down on the year. We've had after you have a sell off like we've seen this year, bounces are inevitable. We're gonna see something go up. But funds have been covering the farmers long. Harvest rallying into harvest. That's a great thing, Tommy G.
It's a wonderful thing. Nice carries in the market. We're going to talk about this port strike more on Premium today. I do want to do a little more research and break it down. And as the days go by, I imagine it will intensify. Loving the carry in the corn market. If corn wasn't up 7 yesterday, I was pretty excited on the morning show that, hey, it's the end of the month, end of the quarter. We're going to have a busy day. Looking at how stocks closed, how cattle closed, the only star was corn. Matter of fact, beans went to up on the day, and then they turned around and went down 8-9 cents, and then they were down another 10 last night. I think people might have thought, beans were out down and out on the count for a little bit, but they I feel like the market's got to where they need to get to in grains. That's not to say they can't go higher, but I will say this, and I've been saying this on Premium and this show and everything else. What China did with those massive rate cuts and another one and lower your mortgage, it caught people off guard. This conflict of what they're talking about in Israel and other stuff, that's catching people off guard. And so people who understood the fundamentals, like grains have to go down because we have too much, they didn't know the part that they didn't know. And that part's happening. What's going on in Israel, what's going on with the port strike, what's going on with this, all the things, what's going on with the election, switching of candidates, uncertainty. When a country like China puts on the green light to take risk, and you have what would be considered like the risk off trade, being someone who doesn't raise corn, and you're shorting that crop, you're betting against the American farmer. I think they got caught with their pants down. And that's why you got to think long and hard, Brady. If you're a huge trader and you're short 1,000 contracts of corn and gold's making all-time highs, you got to wonder, why am I bearish commodities? And inflation's roaring its ugly head back. Speaking of inflation, I hear this port closing could really get inflation going again. So quite a wall of worry.
It
What do you
is,
think?
and it kind of has a snowball effect, and the timing of it all. We got an election coming up. You got, holiday season, holiday shopping. How many goods are coming in overseas and need to be stocked on shelves going into Black Friday, Thanksgiving, that time frame. So it's just an interesting time in America, in the world, and I don't know, Tommy, if things, what's the next headline? We can't predict the next headline here a month from now, 2 months from now, and how's that going to shake things up even further?
Yeah, Dow Jones down 360, update S&P down 65, NASDAQ down 300. I want to get smiling and dialing. I want to get some corn sold for people today. Questions, comments, what can we do to help you? What do you need help with? Let us know. Interested in signing up for premium? Let us know. I am going to call our friend Mick today and do a premium on weather. I wasn't able to get a hold of him yesterday, but I want to talk about this. There's a lot of activity. Our guy he's not our friend, we don't know him, but the guy we look up to, that Ryan Hall, y'all,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
videos every day, and I don't love it because it's destructive. That's bad, but it's so interesting to watch these storms come off the Cape in Africa and come around. And there's 4 or 5 things out there in the ocean that could become potentially destructive, and that may be the uh, you get these areas that were hard hit again. That's just too much. That's just too much.
yeah. Floods are
Brady, I'm
devastating.
throwing it out there. Maybe we'll get to make a good short in 30 some days. If a massive hurricane hit on election day, what would happen? You got time to vote before, right?
That's a good point. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, mail
So
in your
maybe
votes.
people should go out and get out there and vote, or another type of pandemic thing. I quote Bill Gates. He's very worried about another possible. They said, "Are you worried about?" He said, "If we don't have a world war, we'll have another pandemic." I mean, I don't know who says this stuff, but he is Bill Gates, and he's pretty dialed into a lot of things and knows a lot of stuff. Those are scary when you hear stuff like that, especially with the state the world's in. What else you got,
Yeah.
my friend?
Well, that we got the port strike, we got some export flash, we got grains kind of popping, giving some guys some opportunities here. That's all I got on the books. Happy birthday to Jimmy Carter. That's a fantastic
Oh,
thing to
Pete
turn
Rose
on.
died. We lost Pete Rose, right? Is that you? Is that your
That
state?
that's the Huck Ranch there here,
Man, that
Huck
looks
Angus
fake.
Ranch, Dodge
That is
City.
so beautiful. That
Good.
looks fake. How'd you film that, with your iPhone?
iPhone, yeah. Fed the cows here the other day and watching the cows come in
Man, we
here
gotta,
nice
when we
and
quote up
relaxed.
cattle, that needs to be on the board. We're seeing some volatility in the outside markets. Um, nice little The American farmer should be happy and excited, and we got a bean rally, a dollar 10 off the lows. We got a corn rally that's a creeper. I mean, to
Mhm.
do what we did last night, down 2 or 3, and then pop up and make new highs again today. The only bad news we have is I sent you that video from that young man who helps farmers out financially, and he's acting
Yeah,
like the world's ending. That clients we work with, if they have the bushels, they have potential for a good year. If you have
yeah.
bushels, bins, and basis, whew, you're okay. Now, if you don't have the bushels and you're 60 under in corn and all these other problems, well, that's a different situation. Um, Connor wanted to suggest that, and maybe you could add a little color, but we'll go into it, that Kurt Struber would do a premium explaining why your corn bid's so good in Central Illinois is so poorly. Is that something you could touch on real quick, B Huck?
We're always corn deficit out here. Luke made the comment. I can't believe that your basis is similar to mine. Kansas basis is similar to North Carolina basis, but we're also corn deficit. We have a lot of feed yards, have some ethanol plants out here. We got to ship the grain out here, so we're never going to produce enough corn for the demand that we have here. And domestic demand is a huge piece of our the price of your grain. So we need the bushels in the Midwest, and the Midwest needs our demand and these cattle out here and these ethanol plants. But got nice demand, have actually some good production, but we just have strong enough demand that we have that pull here. So it's interesting. We get some really hot basis markets, Tommy, when we're fighting with the river, when we're fighting with that export pull out here, because we got to bring it in on rail versus Illinois, Indiana, Iowa. But you start competing with shipping it out to China or out the Gulf for the PNW, that's when things get really interesting. out here. But Milo market, grain sorghum market, that's a big crop out in western Nebraska and western Kansas, actually western Kansas and Oklahoma, Texas. And that basis market can get really wild, kind of the wild west of basis markets.
Absolutely. Real quick, Brady, had someone call. They didn't even know the show existed, but they're looking for a commodity broker. So I will be traveling Thursday and Friday to meet with a farm family. I don't know that we'll get them signed up, but there's some large farms out there looking for help, and there's some small farms looking for help. We would gladly work with everyone, no matter who you are. If you're willing to learn and get better, maybe ATI Pro Media premiums for you. You can go click like and subscribe and pay $30 a month, $1 a day. But maybe you want a personal farm visit. Myself, Joe, Brady, Connor, and we have a whole big group of people who are at Advanced Trading. But I can't speak for them, but I can speak for myself. Have car, we'll travel. Have RV, we'll camp at your house. All right. So
it's a great time to reevaluate what you're doing with marketing and help you make decisions confidently for this year's crop, and then looking out to next year. Good time to reevaluate what you're doing, why you're doing it, and we're here to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, folks, if you haven't subscribed, we hope you do. I want to show you what ATI Pro Media Premium is. We're going to do a couple shows today. I would ask you, Brady, maybe you could do one with Troy and talk about,
Absolutely.
is this this West versus Central corn basis. Also, folks, if you're out there, we are not experts on dock strike. So if you know something we don't, or you know of something that's going to get jammed up, whether it be in the river system, the dock system, you have a brother, a sister, a cousin, someone who works there, you're talking about a lot of jobs, people just saying bye-bye. This could be very disruptive to the economy, and we need to know. So little call to action. What do you think will happen on the dock strike? Drop it in the comments down below. Thank you for liking and subscribing. If you want to pay for premium, we'd love to have you. Show you what that is. Welcome to ATI Pro Media, powered by Advanced Trading. We're a financial channel that loves agriculture. For just $1 a day, you'll receive advanced trading research, actionable text, and a minimum of 6 videos a week featuring industry experts and insight. Click the button below to subscribe today. You know, my favorite part of that video is you on that damn John Deere tractor when we're at Commodity Classic. I'm like, Brady, go somewhere. And you took your phone and you're like, where'd you end up? I'm on the tractor. No one said anything to you, did they?
No, just climbed up there. But do you remember when you told me to yell "Freebird" on top of
you
it?
Did. You did. We have that. Matter of fact, we should go back to that show and make a short of that. And
that was good times.
If that thing doesn't go viral, I don't know what will.
Can't wait to do it again.
If you're on YouTube, check out our YouTube shorts. Those are fun. We're releasing a couple of those every day. Those are AI generated. We run that through software, and AI says, you know what, this was interesting. And what's interesting about the AI, sometimes we have a feel like that one will do well. And sometimes Joe does these, and he's like, this thing's garbage. And it does well. Like how AI has any idea what you want, but it's not getting any dumber. Would you agree?
No, it's a tool that I think we're all learning how to use, right? And how it can help.
I look like I can spell again. I paid for AI Grammarly. I got commas. I look like someone wrote it for me. And you, of all people, your mom is a English teacher, correct?
Yeah. Yep. She is.
I was like, how do you know how to do this? The spelling and grammar. You're like, oh, my mom beat me with the ruler, like the nun in the Blues Brothers. All right. B-Hawk checking out Dodge City, Kansas. If you need help, get a hold of us. We'll come see you. We want to work with you. I know people are asking for help, and we humbly will come out and see you. Tommy Grisafi, Valparaiso, Indiana. Be traveling tomorrow, the next day. But I think I'll be on the show tomorrow, and I think you did a great job going solo last week. You could do that again. And unfortunately, I think we may start doing more solos so we could focus on premium. We are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of going live at 9. I think we'll keep doing it. But a couple people out in the internet world, a couple huge people out in the internet world went premium yesterday, and I find that interesting. Sometimes free is too expensive. We'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
See you, Tommy.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.